lower. Is that something? Yes, 19. Where on earth is 19? Oh, okay. Did that. And jump out. There we go. And get in the skid steer, yes. Climb up there, little guy. Lovely. Well, almost. Just want to get a little bit more centered and turn off the engine. Jump out we can. Oh, we can climb back in it, because why not? Alrighty, you're done. Actually, you know what? That's all good enough for now. Whoa, that's way to the wrong angle. Still at the wrong angle, but good enough now. Oh, I missed my turn. Hopefully not being followed. Okay, so drop off the last bale, and what I'm going to end up doing is hooking this on the back of the Massey as a follow, because the Massey's the one that has to take the detour on the way home. Okay, this should be about $500. Doing that, I can probably come on, turn off the help text. There we go, and it's sold. Actually 500, 800 even. So it looks like our environmental score is a little bit lower than 15%. But it's still more than 10, so not too unfortunate. Let's have a look. Ooh, we actually have an environmental score of 86%, so we're only getting 11% bonus. Wow. So, what's the bad fields? This field is bad because it's bad. This bit up here is bad because we haven't harvested it yet. That field's bad. Oh man. Our cows are really screwing us up here with their field. That field's at 100, that field's at 96. So we got some good fields. This field we just bought, so it's in a pretty bad state. I believe it needs lime. pH, yeah, that field needs lime, and unfortunately we bought it with crop on it. This one we bought without crop, so we could lime that one. And then obviously 62, 54 don't care about nitrogen. This is grass, doesn't really care about nitrogen. Oh, that was the update to last week. I was finding it impossible to spray this field. The reason is because the data had gone outdated. This field needs to be sampled soon. I think this field might need to be sampled soon. Basically, you get very vibrant colours when you first analyse a field, and then they get darker and darker as the data ages. And this one had aged out, so I had to reanalyze it, pay some guy to come in and check the soil composition so we could use our smart equipment to add fertilizer. So we did that. So that's all done, and it's all fine and wonderful, and everything is now working on that field again. Okay, how am I going to do this? How's about like that? And follow the Massey Ferguson, you are now set. Alrighty, let's get this little guy rolling. I probably should lift that off the ground. That would be a major plan. We'll jump in the cab. And still, very nice tractor, this. I mean, it's not got much in the way of all the things, but you know, it does what you need it to do. And of course, it's a very short wheelbase, so you can get around the farmyard very easily. I guess the question is am I going to be left with it at the end of the series, especially since it looks like we've got probably in the region of 2 more years of this farm before we move on to what I'm guessing is going to be Farm Sim 25. And we've lost the John Deere. Really, how did we lose the John Deere? Especially since, oh, you know what? I know why we lost the John Deere. Because its speed limit, cruise control limit, was set to 12 miles an hour. And unfortunately, the worker will limit his speed to the same as cruise control is currently set to. That's how a 20 mile an hour tractor can outrun a 50 mile an hour tractor or 40 mile an hour tractor. Okay, let's try that again. And we're plotted back on the Massey Ferguson. And we can go. Yeah, maximum speed of this thing's 43 kilometers an hour, whereas the John Deere can do 50. But if you tell the John Deere only do 10, then yeah, it's going to get lost. It's going to lose the track eventually. Still, shouldn't anymore. Can't see him in the rearview mirror, of course, but oh, there he is. Just about make out the turn signal underneath the steering wheel sometimes. Okay, this I'm just going to pull up outside the dairy and block the road, I think. Because we can drive the skid steer off the side. Alrighty, let's put those on, and let's put those on too, and Oh, one of those is a... Oops. One of those buttons adjusts the volume. There we go. So we did that. Let's lower that off. Jump in there, turn the engine on. Whoa, and... Oops. Looks like I was in reverse. Drive off the edge. Bonk, boink. And I can put this round the back here. Front of the shed. Lower the arms and a nice old new, not so new thing. And let's raise the deck. Turn off the blinkers. And head back to the farm. In the cabin. Okay, so that's that done. I think I am gonna take time to order some mineral feed in. We'll go fetch the tipper, because that's definitely a plan. Actually, I want to go in the other entrance. The reason I want to come this way is because of the way we do the low loader. Okay, we'll jump out there. We'll go backwards twice. You can stop following. And we can jump out the cab here. There we go. What is that button say? Silver Run Lumber Inc. I'm not hearing any sound there. Oh. Let's try again. Hello, hello, hello. I have no idea. Microphone is working. Desktop audio is working. Sound. Strange. Okay. Turn the mic back on. Things are playing. Okay, let's put the monitor back on mute and let's go back in the game. And be very, very, very careful turning on the hazards at this stage, because it's activating something which I don't necessarily want activated. Okay, plant this in front of the pig shed, and we can put the Massey Ferguson away now. That low loader could use a repair too, but we use that so infrequently that I'm just not really bothered. This tractor looks kind of okay, so we'll put that away. And turn that off. Let's jump out and I don't know, let's have a look at contracts, see what's out there. Yeah, I looked at that. That's fine. Let's look at contracts. So, 14, 15, 13. Oh, there's some fertilizing contracts. Now, I do have liquid fertilizer. We could run around and do those. And it looks like that's actually a nice loop. 73. Let's go back there. Make it look pretty. So you've got 73 is there, then you've got one down here, there's one through the middle here somewhere, 125 there, and then there's a couple over here which brings you back to the yard. I like doing that sequence, so you sort of come out of here, you go to here, you do some fields here, you do some fields down there, you swing back past the store, maybe have to top up the tank, do a couple more here, and then you're back at the yard. It's a good little trip. It doesn't take long to do fertilization contracts, so maybe do them later. But we do have, this is it's definitely got a wrapper, so it's a silage contract in 21. 23 pays about the same for a silage contract. You've given me a wrapper, so that's a good thing. And then this one is a little bit more valuable. You've also given me a wrapper. Now, some of these I have noticed that they will give me a contract for, and it says for silage, but they give me a tedder and no wrapper. And when you try and deliver the silage bales to the plant, it just doesn't accept them. So we will take that one, we will take that one, we will take that one. And there's a 13,000 in 106. That's a little bit further afield. These are all 21, 23, 24. If we go look at the map, 23, 24, 21. So these are all in the bottom corner. So we can just run down here, mow all the fields, bale all the fields, bug out, and go get the trailer. So I think that's our plan for the remainder of today. Drive through and come back. It's going to be easier that way. So we will finish up today's session with a little bit more mowing and baling and wrapping. Just testing out new equipment. We are going to take a hit from leasing the wrapper, of course, not the baler. But that will be a permanent fixture on the farm when we can afford to pay for it. Until then, we'll just make little bits of money every so often, or payments every so often on it. Still. And you're attached. Select the tank. Try not to, yeah, fine. Bonk the and we are all good to go. Let's extract ourselves from the barn. I still keep saying I would like to rearrange this yard at some point. Oh, I was going to buy some mineral feed. I'm going to buy the mineral feed now, and we'll worry about transferring it next time I remember to. And I'm probably going to remember quite soon because 27,000 litres, 10,000 litres by. Yes. And we don't use this one for seed. So that's chewed up our money quite heavily. So let's turn the engine on. Set to follow. That's a changed person. Okay. And let's go roll. Well, mow. 2 men went to mow a meadow. 2 men in their tractors. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so as I said, June's going to be another slow month where we don't have anything to harvest. We do have the soybeans to sell. What I might do is do the fertilization contracts in the Deutz later on off camera, sell the perishables, and then run all the way through to the last day of June. And then prep up for selling the blah, 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 blah. I might even do a couple of June contracts off camera as well. But then we'll set up end of June. I'll load the soybeans into the tipper or tippers and sell the other perishables, and then we can sell the soybeans, move on to July, and hopefully have some fields to harvest. So next week we will be into year 6 harvest. And I might, depending how much we make from the soybeans and any of the other stuff I do, we might end up buying another field if I can afford it. So I keep saying, having more fields is the way we're going to be making a lot of money. And how on earth do I get into that field? Okay. Through the trees over there, looks like there is access further along here. Yes. I think I've done this field before, but I just never remember how to get there. So here we are, born to be kings. Let's unfold that, lower that, turn that on, turn off the worker, lower the pickup, turn it on, and go back to follow. Who's driving the tractor now? Some dude in shorts, okay. Reminds me I haven't changed my clothes in a month. But that's fine. Drive that forward. This is actually quite a good sized field. I may do that. A and heading, set A, heading 90. Alright, we are heading that way. Rear mower, lower, and engage, and off we go. I did set this with conditioner. Yes, I think so. I think it looks greener without, so we'll call that conditioned grass. So typically for a field like this, I'll come straight across and then... You doing? Oh, you made a bale almost immediately. And then I'll do laps. Because that's just easier that way. And as per usual, I'm always going to have to come back and pick up what's in the corners again. Now, of course, I can do... I've got it set up so I can do 6 contracts simultaneously, but I'm not too fussed about doing the grass contract. The problem is there's a bunch of grass fields in the middle of the map. There's a bunch of grass fields off to the east side near Maypole exports. And there's a bunch of grass fields down here. And it just doesn't make sense to do a distribution of grass fields because you just end up running everywhere. And it's easier to just take a couple of fields grouped together with what is it? With the other thing that I do. What's the other thing? With the fertilizing, it's fine doing it as individual. Just do a loop. Take 6 contracts because it's one piece of equipment running around the map. But this is too many pieces of equipment running around the map. I need to slow down because the baler is going to lose the track if I'm not careful. And part of the reason is this is a very productive field. I'll say that now. But the one we did earlier, it's... Why don't we take a look at the field? Farmland, that one there, it's low. It's 120%. This one here is silty clay, almost 100%. So you're only getting an 89% yield. So we get much less grass per acre on that field than we do on this one. But this one's so far away, it's not worth buying. Also, it's just not worth buying because it's costing more than... But that's why the baler's having to stop to complete the bale before it can drop, before it's finished wrapping the previous one,